5 out of 10. Yeah, it would make more sense if he's out there, but he didn't. You what, dear? I know, I guess Chris is out, and I know where Zach is. In fact, we'll make a deal, Taylor. You and Allie can work with Hunter and Ryan today if you'd like. Just go ahead and move to them that way, or they can move to wait. Hunter, why don't y'all move to them? They have the cooler seats. Or you can be separate. I don't really care.
How about we just combine them?
That's fine. That's fine.
Because I gotta get up, walk 10 feet.
That's fine. That puts you at a whopping 2. Woohoo. The word.
How's that?
It was great. Oh, Eric. Perfect. Eric. Do you mind sitting at 1 again today? Thanks. My God, thank you, Table 3, for not getting distracted. You can add another point. Lord Jesus. How hard is it to walk in and sit down? It's apparently really hard. Good gravy. The past 2 days, it's taken us way too long to get started, which is terrible because tomorrow is Friday. So my gosh, if you're this much on my nerves on Thursday, Friday, oh, you better pray you get you a lot of points today. Because tomorrow is not going to be your friend. I can go ahead and tell you. Because you're not going to get any points from me because you're going to be on my nerves. I already see the future. Okay, because we were been a little off with our math workshops. We're behind in that we haven't started this week's until today. We're gonna look at 1 through 6 tomorrow. Tomorrow is the factoring ones. We're gonna do 7 through 12 today because they're faster, easier. Might as well go to the easy ones first. I told you something is happening next Tuesday yesterday. What is happening next Tuesday? Yes, dear.
Math workshop.
There is a math workshop test next Tuesday. And you can have a point for that, Allie. And on next Tuesday, I will specifically tell you, I will say, oh, no, not on Tuesday. On Monday, we will pull out our old workshops, English. We will pull out our old workshops, and we'll look through them and say, like, oh, you really ought to study this one, or you really ought to study that one. But Bailey's pretty smart. She's realized lately we've done a lot of factoring ones. She knows there's going to be a factoring one. Now, we've done a lot of simplifying square root. She knows there's going to be a simplified square root. Unlike algebra 2 with trig, you do get to have out your math workshops. I've decided you can. However, that means you realize it's not going to be a repeat question. So square root of 4 is not going to be on there. Square root of 605 is not going to be on there. It's going to be different ones, so you actually have to understand what you're doing. But you will have these to reference at least. Another incentive to make sure you're getting your junk done. Okay, let's start off with it. Oh, you had something to say, Madeline. No, I know what she had to say. There's something else that's also next Tuesday. Yes, dear?
We have a test.
You have a very, very short test next Tuesday. It's only going to, I'm telling you now.
Same day.
Same day. You're going to get them both done. Same day. Math workshop tests take you, what, 20 minutes? And this one's going to take you maybe 10. So, same day. Yeah, and that means you still got 10 minutes of free time at least. Let's see. It is on truth tables, which we started the basics yesterday. I'll be more specific about which questions are going to be on there today. You will not get to use anything, so you'll actually have to remember the basics of a truth table. And we're going to go over that again today in just a second. Let's go ahead and get these math workshops out of the way. I should see like 1,000 hands for number 7. Oh, Allie was first. Yes, dear? Okay, you get a point for that. Number 8. Yes, dear.
9 root 3.
It is 9 root 3. And you can have a point for that because it's 81 times 3. Square root of 81 is 9, so 9 square root is 3. Okay, number 9. Yes, ma'am. Yes, so it's 121 times 5. Hey, I know the square root of 121, that's 11. So it's 11 square root of 5. Okay, number 10. And you can have a point for that, Allie. Anyone else besides that? Okay, go ahead. I mean, you can have a point for that, Jackie. Anyone else besides Allie know number 10? Okay, go ahead.
13 square root of 2.
Say it again.
13 square root of 2.
Yes, it is 13 square root of 2 because it's 169 times 2. Hey, look in 25. It's either in 25 or 26. Okay, look, it's 13 square root of 2. And now we get to number 11. Yes, dear.
I can go again, actually?
You can go again, actually.
5 root of 6.
Oh, Chris, you gotta come in and mess everything up and just pull up a desk or whatever to him. It's fine.
Let me get that last one.
And you can have a point for that. Number 12, before he steals it all, yes, ma'am. Yes, because it's 4 times 6, so it's 2 square roots of 6. Okay. I'm really impressed with two things. The first thing I'm impressed with is how fast you knew those answers. So either you're good at radicals or you actually did your math workshops in advance. And then the second thing I'm impressed with is since you understand, that means you're going to do well on this, or at least those who answered are going to do well on this portion of the math workshop test. So that's a good sign. If you've been zoning out during math workshops, my God, you've got to get it together. The test is Tuesday. Okay, Keyshawn, hand me your book. Okay, I need you to open your book to page 11. Page 11. Okay. You might want to write this on the back of your math workshops. You might not. It would be helpful because I'm basically telling you stuff about the test next Tuesday. Okay. I don't think I did explain it well, but some people need another explanation, which makes sense. It happens to the best of us. And also, I can't spell at the same time. We started talking yesterday about truth tables. When you hit number 18 in your activity yesterday, you hit your first truth table. So, a truth table, if there are two statements being made, two of them, we normally call them P and Q. The way normally in math class the teacher uses X and Y, we normally use P and Q. And then we ask a question involving either some sort of operator. And we've learned about two operators the past 2 days. What is one of the operators? Yes, dear? And? We've learned about and or. Okay, so if I do this symbol, is that and or?
Or.
It's and because it looks like an A. It looks like an A. Okay, Matthew, you answered that. You can have a point for it. Okay, so I'm basically breaking apart your number 18 into two separate truth tables. So if this was one truth table, the first thing you do with a truth table, and they're so nice, and I'm so nice on the test too, it gives you normally, eventually for for our test that we're about to take, I'll give you a blank one. In real life, you have to make your own like we're going to do now. So they always start off, if there's two variables, just P and Q, TTFF, TFTF. And we mentioned this yesterday, but I'm going to say it again today. I think of it like a coin toss. There are always two options, and we're just making a list of all the possibilities. They could have both been true. One could be true, one could be a false. The other could be false, the other could be true, and then they both could be false. Okay, and then I told you that you didn't have to go in the same order as me when you make your table. But why would it be smart to put your table in the same order as me? Yeah, so, and I heard it from 4 and 2, so add a point. If you're not wanting me to super stare at your paper and really think through what you did, you put it in the order I put it in. If I have to pay attention to where Eric's FF line is, maybe his is at the top or maybe in the middle, it takes me a couple extra seconds. Or you really want me to spend a couple extra seconds on your paper? I'm just saying. Okay, so let's pretend that P and Q are, let's say P is phone, that makes sense, and Q is my cup. Okay, so if P and Q are both true, like they are at the top, then I'm holding both of them. So if I say the sentence, if I can talk, good Lord. If I say the sentence, I'm holding my phone and my cup, is that a true statement? Yes. So that's why the first entry should be T, in your column that says P and Q. Okay, but let's say it says T for the P, so I'm holding my phone, but it says F for cup, so I'm not holding my cup. But if I say this sentence, I'm holding my cup and my phone, is that true? No, so that's why that one's false. And then the next one is false for my phone, it's true for my cup, and I say this sentence, I'm holding my phone and my cup. Is that a true sentence? No. Okay, and then the last one down, it says I don't hold either, but again, I say the sentence, I'm holding my phone and my cup. Is that a true sentence? No. So now you understand the basics of an and table. An and table, it's really very rare you see a T, because for a T to happen, both things have to be true. The T only happens when both things are true. So I'm going ahead and telling you, I know one of the 5 on the test is going to be an and table. Now, I might be weird and change the variables to A and B just to have a little fun with my life, but it's still going to be an and table. So do you know what an and table looks like? Now, if I don't put an and table, I'm promising you one of the 5 is either just a blank and or a blank or. I can tell you that. So if I don't put an and table, I might put an or table. And an or table looks a little different, and I know they did both in one on your picture, so maybe that's why you were a little confused yesterday, which is fine. So an or table still has P, still has Q, still has the options T, T, F, F, T, F, T, F. But seriously, just by changing that symbol to the or symbol rather than the and symbol changes a lot of our responses in that third column. So we go through the same sentence, but instead of saying the word and, I say the word or. So both true, so I'm holding my phone and my cup. So if I say I'm holding my phone or my cup, is that a true sentence? Yes. So it's a T. Next line says yes to phone, no to cup. If I say I'm holding my phone or my cup, is that a true sentence? Yes. Next line down, no phone, yes cup. If I say I'm holding my phone or my cup, is that true?
Yes.
And then last one down, I'm not holding either. I'm not holding either. And I say the sentence, I'm holding my phone or my cup. Is that true? No. False. So on an or, as long as you have one T, your statement's going to be true. As long as you have one T, the first 3 in the list, there's a T, there's a T, there's a T. As long as there's a T, the whole thing's going to be true. Because with an or, you just as long as one's true, the whole thing's true. The only problem was when both were false, because then we had nothing. So of course it was false. Okay, so you need to have the basic and basic or table kind of imprinted in your brain. And seriously, if you want to sit there and hold your phone in your cup and think it through, I mean, it doesn't matter what the P sentence was. You can change it to phone and cup and think it through every single time. Okay, so if your number 18 is wrong, I can see some people's who are. You might want to fix it to what we have, and maybe I'll be a doll and fix yours. No, yours is right. Never mind. You win. Okay, so I can't give that back to you. I'm not done. Okay, let's look at, so this was 18 yesterday, and then you hit your next truth table at 23, and that's why I told you to give up at 22. So I'm going to change my whole goal. I know it says goal 32, never going to happen. My literal goal is just, can Brandon finish 23 through 26 before class ends? That's my real goal. Can he just finish 2.1.2? Forget 2.1.3. Can he just finish 2.1.2? Now, if he's a genius, can he keep going? Of course. But can he just finish? Okay, so on your test, this 5-problem test on Tuesday, I'm going to be super nice. Since we're starting off slow, I promise to only have 2 variables, P and Q, on all 5 problems. But eventually that's going to change. We're going to have 3 variables, P, Q, and R, which is what happened on number 23. We talked about yesterday. I wrote it in his book. It's always a step pattern. There's always 4 T's, 4 F's. Then it does pairs. 2 T's, 2 F's, 2 T's, 2 F's. And then it's singles. TF, 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 TF. And again, all that's really happening is now, like in real life, Hunter's flipping 3 coins, and he's got to keep up with all his options. What if they were all heads? What if they were all tails? And what about all the different options in between? But if he's got this basic memorized, it should help him with the next. Now what sucks, and really it does suck, because I would need an intermediate column. So if you want to do a truth table on your own paper, I totally understand. My suggestion to you today is to make up your own. So if I were doing this problem, I would have to have more than a P, Q, and R. I would have to have P, Q, R. Is it okay if I scribble in your book? Can I have your book? Uh-huh. Thank you.
Did you mess up on him?
No. Okay, so I would have a column for just P or Q. Then I would do the compound statement, P or Q and R. I would do just that first. So I don't know why they jumped into all the things at once. I would do just P, just Q, just a P or Q, then a P or Q and R. Because otherwise life gets too complicated. As for the second statement, I would have to add 2 more columns on, and again, you don't have to be my twin. This is just my suggestion. I would add 2 extra columns. So they asked you to handle 2 different things. They asked for you to handle P or Q and R, which is what I did, and that's my 2 brown columns. But they also asked you to handle P or Q and R, which are going to be my blue columns. So again, I make things easy. I make a whole column for the thing in parentheses. So I would make a whole column for just Q and R. And then I would make a combined column for the full statement. And then you're like, okay, Miss Compton, that's great, but seriously, what the hell are you doing? And I know, it's that bad. It required custom and everything. So you're like, Miss Compton, that's great. Thanks for the suggestion. I still don't understand how to fill in that giant thing. Can you help me with that? And I can. So I seriously make life really easy when I do truth tables. I only look at 2 columns at a time. So since this first column says P or Q, I cover up column R. I don't need R. And I just use the P and Q column to help me figure in the P or Q column. In the same way, this column down here that says Q and R, I would only need the Q and R column, so I would cover up anybody that's not Q and R. I would cover them up, and I would just use the Q column and the R column, the Q column and the R column, to help me figure out that Q and R column. I only need those 2. So I only ever look at 2 columns at a time. So then, on the super complicated column, well, it's really not that complicated because, where are my colors? It's really not that complicated because I'm just going to look at the green column. And I'm just going to look at the R column, which is, I'm going to color yellow. And then that green column and that yellow column together give me that green and yellow column.
Right.
I'm just only ever looking at 2 columns. So with the last one, with a super complicated statement, I look at my Q and R. I'll color it orange. I look at my P. I'll color it pink. And then to get my ugly auburn colors, I just look at the 2 auburn columns.
Okay, so we don't have to do as we do this.
You can just do, if you can read it and do it that way, good for you. I am a slow truth table that I'm slow at. I don't know why. It took me a long time to get them. I know that's sad because I teach them. I only do 2 columns at a time. So just first things first, can Jackie and her group fill in the P and Q, P or Q column? All they need to look at is the P and Q column. Okay, I'm going to walk around and help your group, for the love, get this 23. You're going to do 24, 25, 26. It's going to be awesome. Okay, I'm going to stop talking now. Brandon, you have your hand raised.
Yes.